So you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm gonna put you guys on mute.
Okay.
If you guys need to talk to me or let me know something, just unmute yourselves and let me know if you guys need, if you're confused about a pose that I'm explaining or whatever the case is. And my dog is here, Ragnar, not the bulldog. He's a lot better. He doesn't slobber. All right. So let me just double check. You guys can see me. We're gonna stay on the floor this whole time, so we're not gonna be like standing and or anything. All right. Just make sure you guys can see my map. Okay. All right. All right. So we are gonna start off in Supta Baddha Konasana. So if we have that rolled up blanket or two pillows just to help prop you up, you're going to lay on it. So try to get it behind your shoulders. Depends on how big I actually have a bolster. But you're gonna bring the soles of the feet together. You're gonna lay on top of that pillow or that blanket. And ideally your head is hanging back. You want to completely relax the cervical part of your spine. If it's too much, just open your mouth to relax the jaw. Arms out to the sides with the palms facing up. Try to relax your hips, your shoulders. So you're really targeting the rib cage, the chest, the collarbone area. And you really want to just open up the arms. Open up the wingspan. And just let your entire weight rest on whatever you have underneath you, whether it's the pillows or the blankets, with the soles of the feet together. And if you have really tight hips or inner thighs, just move the feet further away from you. Just hang out here for a few breaths. I am going to time every pose. So breathe. In and out of the nose. And the key to yin, which is the opposite of the more strengthening, powerful classes, is that it brings more balance to your body, to your energy, to the energy centers. So you develop a more well-rounded practice. Just really begin to notice the areas that feel good in this posture. And the areas that don't feel so good, one of the rules of yin is to commit to the pose, to stay with it. When it gets a little challenging after maybe 2 or 3 minutes, that's when your breath really starts to matter. Where you start to practice the mental part of yoga. Or maybe your mind is telling you to get out of it, maybe. Or to wiggle it out. Or to just move about, which is a form of distraction. So stick with it, knowing that eventually you'll come out of it. And the goal of yin is to really get deep into your fascia. And this is what I believe really builds flexibility. So if you're just the type of person that likes to go, 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 this is where you really start to build the patience to really break up any tension or hardness from the years, to really get into your flexibility. A few more breaths. Inhale and exhale. One more breath in and one more breath out. So keeping your upper body the same, just to counteract this pose, just bring your knees together, but bring your feet as wide as the mat, just to help neutralize your hips. So almost like you're making a pyramid with your knees. So knees together, feet apart. Good, breath in and out. Inhale and exhale. One more breath in and one more breath out. So taking any movements here to come out of this pose. So in that heart opener, we're really targeting our highest part of our spine, our neck, opening up the chest and the shoulders by relaxing it back. So now we're going to move down to our shoulders, our wings, and possibly our hips. So for this one, you're going to start off laying on your belly. So we're going to start off with our right arm. So your right, on your belly, your right arm is going to be about 90 degrees from your torso. So maybe your wrist is in line with your shoulder. If that's too much, you're going to move it down closer to your shoulder. So you're going to be flat on your belly. I can't really demo this, but your left hand is going to be underneath your left shoulder. You're going to bring the soles of the feet together, opening up the hips. Let me know if I lost you. So you're gonna start on your chest, but you're gonna roll yourself onto your right side. You're gonna open up your knees, soles of the feet together. You can relax your head on a pillow or a block, or just let it hang out on the floor. So your feet can be together in that butterfly position. Your right leg can be straight. Your left foot can be resting on the floor. And if you want to just remove this left hip completely, just have your legs straight out. So you're going to feel that more on the shoulder. Hang out here for a few breaths. Your right palm is facing downward, connecting to the ground, to your floor. Do your best to relax the left hip, your left knee, if it's lifted. You're gently opening up your torso towards the ceiling, as best you can, or to your side wall. You can always close your eyes in any of the postures. Just closing off your sense of sight. So you can just tune inward, focusing on your breath. You can try to pinpoint your focus on your breath. Even better. Big breath in and out. Inhale and exhale. One more breath in and one more breath out. So slowly bring your right arm in to help yourself come back. We're gonna switch sides. So now we're doing our left side. So now you're gonna start up on your belly. Your left arm is gonna extend out to the side, so about 90 degrees from your torso. Your right arm, you're gonna press it away from the floor, so you're pretty much on your left side body. Now, if you want the butterfly feet, you can bring the soles of the feet together like this. You can rest your head on a pillow or a block, or simply on the mat. You can extend your bottom leg, so your left leg, or keep your legs together. Hang out here, opening up the left shoulder. Relaxing any tension in the shoulders, in the upper back. Do your best to relax your head and neck, prop it up if it's uncomfortable, so you're just bringing your focus on the shoulder system. If you have really tight shoulders, or this is where you hold your tension on the upper back, breathe. And if this is somewhat uncomfortable, hopefully it's not painful. Remember to breathe. Focus your attention on your breath instead of the discomfort. Breath in and out. Inhale and exhale. One more breath in and one more breath out. Slowly make your way out of this pose. Just come into a simple seat. So what we just did was a lot of chest openers, getting into the frontal part of our shoulders. So you're just going to do a few shoulder circles, just to work it out, get some blood flow in there. So now we're going to move down to our thoracic spine. We're still going to work on the pectoral area, and now we're going to start to integrate the abdominals and the low back. So we're going to come into Sphinx. So you're again on the belly, and I'm going to give you options with your forearms. So you can bring the palms together, but really opening up your rib cage, pressing away from the floor. Or you can come to a full Sphinx where your palms are facing downward, lifting the chest up. See if you can bring your feet hip width apart. If they have a tendency to splay out wider, bring them a little bit closer together. And you're going to just press away from the floor. If you notice your shoulders are starting to hunch in like this, just lift up. from the collarbones. Neutral neck, so you're not leaning the head back. Have it neutral. And breathe. Try to relax your belly. Continue to notice your breath. And it's common for yin for the breath to speed up the longer you hold the pose. Notice your shoulders if they're starting to creep up towards your ears. Keeping your arms strong. Sticking with it. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in and out. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Good job. So slowly come out of this. And the counter posture to help relax those arms, since that did take a little bit of power, is child's pose. So the modification we're doing in child's pose is you're gonna sit on your heels. You can always place a pillow or a block between the feet if you really have tight hips. So your knees are not gonna go as far as they can go. So it's an in-between distance of as wide and as narrow as you can, just so your belly, your midsection, can fit right between the thighs. And your arms are gonna wrap around your knees. You can rest your forehead on the floor. You can put a blanket underneath your forehead, but let your shoulders broaden. Let Let your arms relax down by your sides. Palms are facing upward. And breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in. And one more breath out. Bring your arms in front of you and come up into a tabletop position. And from your tabletop position, you're gonna come to downward facing dog for a moment. Good, and from your downward facing dog, lift your right leg, swing your right foot next to your right thumb, drop the back knee, and now we're moving down from our back into our torso, down to our hip flexors. We're gonna come back to the low back since I did skip that for a reason. So I'm using blocks. So you can feel free to use blocks to just help you make a connection to the floor, and it prevents you from hovering forward like this. You want to keep your spine straight. So, and the reason for that is that allows you to get your back thigh closer to the floor. So you're lunging deeper. So if your front knee, your right knee, is a little bit behind the kneecap, that's fine. See if you can shimmy it underneath the kneecap, getting deeper into your back quadricep, the front of the hip flexion. So adjust the height of whatever, if you're using support. Try to keep the chest lifted. Try to relax the shoulders if you're starting to hunch into it. Just breathe. Use your breath and mental focus, especially when it gets a little tough in this pose. Since you're really targeting the hip flexor and your left quadricep, the top of the thigh, which is the largest muscle in your body. And it's not always the easiest muscle to stretch. If you have any discomfort with your back knee, try to be above the kneecap. You can also place a blanket underneath the left knee. And with yin, if it's really, truly borderline painful, so just distinguishing discomfort and pain is a great way to learn your body, or knowing when the mental chatter is just stronger than your physical will to just stick with it. So this is a different type of endurance. There's endurance where you're doing like 17 sun salutations straight within like a 15-minute period. There's that type of physical endurance. And then there's, I like to think of this as more mental endurance. Because chances are you can hold this pose. It's you talking yourself out of it, which is probably the bigger issue with a lot of holding. So breathe, stick with it. Continue to breathe a little bit deeper. That helps with your blood flow. And Sonia, when she teaches, which I love, she's really big and she's very knowledgeable about your chi, which is your energy centers. And the purpose of yin is to really bring movement and energy and to unblock those energy centers. And even though you're still, you want to continue to use the breath to make sure your blood is still circulating. Almost there. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath in. And one more breath out. Good. Shift your hips back. Make any movements that you gotta do. Maybe you gotta wiggle it out. And we're still gonna focus on that right hip flexor and your left quadricep. So from here, we're gonna come into pigeon pose. So in pigeon pose, you're gonna bring your right calf muscle as parallel as you can to your body. Ideally, if you have the full expression, this calf muscle is pretty much in line with your collarbones or your shoulders. If it's really tight like mine, it's gonna sickle in towards the hip, and that's okay. You can always use a block here to help bring the distance further and then move the knee back. But you want your hips squared. If your left leg is splaying out to the side, plug it into the hip socket, move it in towards your body a bit more. And we're gonna do this active. So you're gonna stay on your hands. If you have to, come onto your forearms. So hang out here. Make any last adjustments. Commit to the pose, commit to the stillness. Breathe. Just checking in, keeping in with the integrity of your shoulders. If you're starting to hunch in, shoulders to ears, lift away. Halfway there, a few more breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more breath in, and one more breath out. Good job. So you're gonna tuck your back toes, lift that back knee, come back into a downward facing dog. You can shake that right leg out. Shake it, shake it, shake it. And then from your down dog, lift your left leg. We're gonna do the other side. So bring that left foot, might feel tight, next to your left hand. We're coming back into that lunge. So try to get yourself above your back kneecap. If you can shimmy your left ankle underneath your knee, awesome. If your knee is surpassing the ankle, that's okay too. You can always place a blanket underneath your right kneecap. So hopefully you're not directly on it and you're really getting your hips as low as you can to the floor. Use blocks or support underneath your arms to keep your spine nice and tall. lunge on the left side. Make any other last adjustments. Then make that commitment to stick with the pose. And the way I designed this class is we're doing every posture for 4 minutes so that hopefully we can get through all the big major body areas that I wanted to get to. So we're targeting our hip flexors and our quadriceps. And then we're eventually going to move down to the hamstrings and the side body and the low back. And if you typically enjoy yin or you don't enjoy yin, it took me a while to accept a yin practice because I'm definitely more in a go, go, go and move, move, move. I typically only hold postures for 3 breaths on average, maybe 5 at the longest. But once my yoga practice evolved, I really started to realize I am not that flexible and I needed to start like going towards the other spectrum of yoga. And then I started to realize I actually really enjoy it. Continue to breathe, halfway there. And if you guys ever noticed the way all of our classes are designed, yin falls as the 3rd hardest class. So the first one is meditation, then it moves up to restorative. And then yin, because this starts to involve power and strength. After yin is stretch flow, because now we start to bring more movement. And after stretch flow is the basics, house flow basics. And then you move up to house flow, hot house, and then powerhouse. And it's not really a spectrum of difficulty. It's the full spectrum. Because for some people, especially the ones that are more prone to strength and endurance, yin is not, or restorative or meditation, it could be like a lot more difficult for some people. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more breath in, and one more breath out. Good job. Move your hips back. Make any movements here that you have to. And then from here, we're gonna go straight into our pigeon pose. So your left, you're still gonna lunge forward, but now you're gonna come down to your left knee, your left calf muscle. Plug that right leg in towards the center line of your body. You can always use a block here between your ankle and your thigh. I normally do this to help because my ankle likes to sickle in. And then move the left knee back towards the hip. Again, you can stay on your hands. If you want to come down to your forearms, you can. So up to you where you want to take your pigeon. And with pigeon, you're still targeting the hip, back quad gently, but you're targeting maybe the left glute, the outside of the hip of your left side. Depending on where you're tight, you might feel the tension elsewhere. Almost there. Continue to connect to your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. One more exhale. If you have any props underneath you, remove them. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. Shake that left leg out in three-legged dog. Get that blood flow back. And then come back to your down dog. And onto your knees. And then you're going to sweep your legs straight out in front of you. So for these, the next two poses, we're going to focus on our hamstrings. But we're only going to do these for 2 minutes each. So we're going to start with the legs together. And then from here, you're going to just forward fold. So really just relaxing your legs as best as you can. We're going to do this passively just to help relax our arms and our wrists. Instead of trying to keep our back straight, you can let it round. I know there's the other variation of a forward fold is called dangle in yin, when we're standing up and doing a forward fold. That pose, I have a really hard time with. But when you're doing it seated, you can relax a little bit. Let your back round, relax the chin down, relax the shoulders. Try not to reach for anything. Just let gravity do the work. Let your hamstrings naturally relax into the stretch. And breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. One more exhale. Slowly lift your torso back up. We're going to spread our legs as wide as you possibly can. Whenever you're ready, relax the head and neck and round the spine. Maybe walk your arms forward. Maybe your forearms can rest. Relax the feet and just lean forward between the legs. Relaxing the inner thighs. Breathing down to the hamstrings. Anywhere that feels tight, maybe it's the groin area. Relax the feet. Few breaths. If you want to prop your arms up with your blanket or your pillows, you can. But really using your breath to relax deeper towards the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Lift yourself back up. We're going to zip the legs together and we're going to lay down on our back. So now we're going to focus a little bit on the side body and our low back and our twist. So I'm going to have a little bit of a hard time demoing this, so hopefully stick with me. So just for a minute, you're going to wrap your right ankle on top of your left. So you're just crossing your ankles, right on top of left, and you're going to move your legs over to your left side. We're coming into a banana. Your left hand is going to grab your right wrist and pull yourself over to your right side. So you're making a crescent shape, and you're going to feel that on your right side body. So just a little bit, a few breaths here, just to find length on your entire right side body. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in. And one more breath out. Now straighten your body out. Unhook your ankles. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And now you're going to cross your right knee over your left knee. If you have eagle legs where you're hooking your toes behind your calves, awesome. If not, just let it hang. Now bump your hips over to the right and drop both of your knees over to the left side. You can extend the arms out and look up towards the ceiling or towards the right side. If you want that extra upper pectoral stretch, look over to the right side in your twist. Few breaths here. Letting that twist really get deep into your right side body, the right side of your low back, your right glute, the right IT band area. If your knees don't touch the floor, that's okay. You can place a blanket underneath to make contact or block. If your right shoulder is lifting up, that's okay too. If it is lifting up, maybe extend the arms straight out instead of bending at the elbows. Try to relax in that twist. Eventually, maybe your right shoulder and your knees might creep closer to the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Unravel your knees. Hug your knees back into your chest. Bring the arms in. Give yourself a squeeze. And extend your legs back out. We're going to come back to that banana pose. So this time your left ankle is going to wrap around or wrap on top of your right. And then you're going to lean your legs over to your left side. Your right hand is going to grab your left wrist from underneath and pull that arm over to your right side. So you're leaning both your feet and your hands over towards the right side. So you feel the stretch on your left side body. The more your arms are outstretched, you might feel that more on the upper back or the upper half of your body. Few breaths here, finding length on the left side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Straightening it out. Hugging your knees into your chest. Give it a squeeze. At this time, your left leg is going to wrap around your right leg. So left over right. You can hook your toes if you have that. Drop your knees over to your right side, so maybe adjust your hips to the left. Your arms can straighten out, or you can cactus them. If your knees don't touch the floor, you can always put a blanket or a block so that you have some type of connection. Or if you're comfortable just letting it hang, letting it eventually sink down, awesome. Few breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Taking your time, unwrap your legs, hug them into your chest, and just take a happy baby, just to neutralize the hips, the groin, the legs, the lower back. Pulling the knees in towards the armpits, soles of the feet facing up. Maybe you can rock. And just take a moment here for yourself. Towel, water, any last movements, postures, a sweater, socks, anything you gotta do for Shavasana. Now, corpse pose, what we normally do is that you lay on your back, arms by your sides, legs splayed out. In yin, there's another posture called pentacle. I call it starfish. So pentacle pose, your arms are overhead, your legs are wide. So we're gonna do pentacle pose or starfish pose if you wanna do it. The benefit that I like about pentacle pose when you're just like, almost like making an X on the ground, it's a little bit more, what's the word? I feel like you're more vulnerable. So if you're comfortable letting your arms just splay out in the comfort of your home, your legs splay out, everything is open, everything is free. Try it out if you have the space overhead. Close your eyes. Continue to focus on your breath for a moment. Do your best to just release all thought. If thoughts come up, that's okay. Just let it pass. Try to let your weight go. Relax on your mat. For our final resting pose, Shavasana. Inhale and exhale. Slowly bring your arms down by your sides, hugging the knees into your chest. Rolling over to your right side in a comfortable fetal position. Position of comfort and new beginnings. Just take a moment here, let your practice sink in. And create an intention for the rest of your day, for the rest of your long weekend. Ask yourself how you want to show up for yourself, for your loved ones, for your pets, for the day, so that you make the most out of it. Keeping that intention in the back of your mind. Sealing it with an inhale. And on the exhale, whenever you're ready, you're going to press yourself up into a comfortable seat at the top of your mat. Sitting up nice and tall, hands together at heart center, and just bow your head in gratitude for yourself, for showing up. And sending gratitude to the other yogis that shared this practice with you virtually. And sending gratitude out in general for all the things that you're truly thankful for, giving it some acknowledgement. So bring your thumbs to your third eye, the space between the eyebrows. Big inhale and exhale. Kind thoughts. Thumbs to your lips, inhale. And exhale. Kind words. And thumbs to heart center, inhale. And exhale. Kind actions. The light within me bows in honor to light within each and every one of you. Namaste.
Thank you, Christa.
Thanks, guys. Have a great Memorial Day tomorrow.
Thanks.
Have some hot dogs, burgers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Oh, just so you guys know, there's no class tomorrow. So I'll see you guys Tuesday, I hope.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.